Get ready, guys. We're gonna pour plaster today. We're gonna make our Easter bunny. Okay, and from past experience, I have bags underneath this mold, because if you don't, it's going to fall over to the side and that plaster of Paris is going to fall out. Because of the butts of these bunnies, you just need to prop this up and do it before. I learned from experience. When I made my first one, I didn't. Everything started, oh, it was a mess. So make sure that you prop up your molds, okay? All right, so I have my 2 cups of plaster of Paris, and I'm going to put in my 1 cup of cold water, and I'll be back when it's mixed. Okay, so I have this plaster of Paris mixed, and it's already starting to thicken. So I'm going to pour this, and I know I'm going to need more. I just know it because this is a big mold, and this is very clumpy, and you don't want it clumpy. You want it mixed good. And since it's going to take more, I'm going to have to hurry and put more into this. I knew it was going to take another, this is what I mean, these molds, these big ones take a lot of plaster of Paris. Okay, what I didn't do with this one is I didn't rinse it and let water lay in the bottom of it. Sometimes the mold comes out easier, so we'll just have to see what happens with this one. Only this half of the bunny, because this is the other side of it, it's a 2-part, took 2 of these, okay? So right now I'm going to go rinse this out outside, not in my sink, outside. Let this start drying, and then we'll fill the other side. Okay, what I did is I poured 2 at the same time. I wouldn't suggest that until you've poured a few times so you're comfortable with that, because you do have to work quick. But I think it'll be easier than when you have such a big mold as these are. It's going to be a lot easier to have it all ready to pour at the same time instead of pouring that, mixing this and then pouring it. You want it to kind of all incorporate together at the same time. So let's get this one poured. This is the other half. And I took a whisk and mixed this one. And I put the water first. And then gradually added the plaster of Paris, and it worked a lot better. So remember, water first and then add the plaster of Paris slowly. But as you can see, it took 2 of these containers, and these containers had 2 cups of plaster of Paris to 1 cup of cold water. So it took 2 of those. So you can see these big ones take, and it just filled it. So these big ones do take a lot of plaster of Paris. I'm going to go outside and wash this. When these are dry, we'll come back and we will glue them together and paint them. Hey everyone. Well, I'm back with my series, and we poured our big ones, we poured our big bunnies, remember? Now here's the small. Okay, I have my 2 cups of plaster of Paris to 1 cup of cold water mixed in my container, and I like this little whisk. It does a great job. So you put your cold water in first, then put 1 cup of plaster of Paris, and then the next cup of the plaster of Paris. Mix it up really good, and then we are going to, and Bella's drinking, that's what you hear. So we're going to pour our bunnies. And let's pour the next one. Make sure you got it all. The little tails. That looks good. I think we'll go ahead and we will pour our chicks as well. So I'm going to pour my chicks now too. I'll probably get maybe 2 chicks out of this. Remaining, maybe just 1. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, I'm going to get more, you guys. Cool. Oh my gosh, I think I'm going to get all of them. I did. I got all 4 chicks. What about that? We got the 2 bunnies and we got the 4 chicks. Let's see what else I have that I can just use the rest, because you don't want this to go to waste. Guess I'll do a couple flowers, because there's not that much left. The excess of this, and I hope it works. If it doesn't, it's no big deal. I'm going to let these dry and then I'll be back. Okay, so you can see that that one container filled up these little chick molds, and then this looks like a mess, but I think I'm going to get some good flowers out of it. That was just from the excess. I didn't want to waste it. And then here we have our bunny that has the basket. Hey everybody, how are you doing? Well, here we are. Here we go again. I have got my glue gun, the fast drying acrylic latex, regular spackle, and different paints. And this is primarily for my chicks that I'm going to be doing. The yellow, and it's, what is this one? What's the name of it? Soft Butter. And this is Craft Smart, and I think this is from Michael's. Yeah, Michael's. And Ivory, and Ceramic Coat from Delta. And this is from Hobby Lobby, and this is Anita's, and this is Antique White. I'm going to mix a little of all of this for the chicks. But before I do that, I have to get them put together. And to do that, water, I am going to, I think what I'm going to do with this bunny, and as you can see, my little bunny lost an ear. But not to worry, it's not ruined. I'm just going to take a little bit of acrylic paint on both sides, because it seems to, the glue seems to adhere better once it's painted than opposed to trying to put it together just back with the plaster of Paris. Why, I don't know. Don't know what the reason is there. So I'm going to take a brush. So I'm just going to come in, let that dry, and while that's drying, we will start getting our little chicks together. Now these were supposed to be like suckers, and so they had the little piece left of plaster Paris where it poured down in here, and that's no big deal. I just cracked it off. And as you can see, there's one here that has a little bit of a protruding part, and that's not a big deal. That can be sanded down. So let's get these out, and we will decide which ones are going to go, because no matter which ones you pour, sometimes they fit a little bit better than others. And you see where this gap is? That's not abnormal, and you will fill that in with this spackle. Don't use your lightweight spackle, use your regular spackle for this. Okay. Now, if you didn't want to make these to be together, you can just paint these, and you could put a stick on them and put them into whatever you want, into a flower arrangement or whatever. I want to try and do at least one of them as one that could stand up. And if it doesn't work well enough to stand on its own, I might make a little base or just put it into something. But I want to do at least one putting it together. So I'm going to take just a little bit of sandpaper, and it's very fine sandpaper, and it doesn't take much. You could even use a brown bag and probably be able to sand this, because that's how soft plaster of Paris is. See how much comes off? That shows you how soft it is. Now, I normally wouldn't do this in the house. I would take it outside, but I'm not going to take my camera out there and, you know, go through all that. So I'm going to wipe it off. Add the silicone. Now, you could put this together with a glue gun, because I've done that. That's totally up to you, or you could use white glue. And this plaster of Paris sucks up the paint. Believe me. I mean, it's like, there you go. It just seems to adhere better. And I don't get it. I just don't get it. Why? Sometimes it's worth taking just that extra step, you know? Okay. So that's that. I think with this one, I want to go ahead, make them individual, only for the fact I'm not going to pour any more for this Easter, and I want a couple going in different areas, and this will enable me to have 3 chicks instead of just 2. So that's why I'm going to do it that way. These I could start, while this is drying, I could start painting. And I really like having this glass mat. I got this from HSN. As you guys know, I love, I gotta clean it off. I love Crafter's Companion, and I am not being paid or sponsored at all. I wished I was. But I love her stuff. And even if you order from the UK, which I have, it got to me within a week, which is nuts. But the thing is about the glass, you can just wipe it off, and you can use it as a palette, you know, for your paint, because it'll wipe right off. And glue, you know, hot glue, you can just, you know, it'll come right off too. Let me take a little of this water, because I was doing glitter. They have glass cutting, or what do you call it, at Bed Bath & Beyond. You know that you cut vegetables. You can use one of those if you like something where you don't have to constantly throw something away, where it can just be wiped up. Let's get our paint. Now this you could just use. I mean, it's just, again, it's just your preference, you know, what you want to do. Okay, got a little too much. Well, maybe not. Maybe it won't be. I don't know. We'll see. This is my palette. Could as well glitter these up if you want. You know how little chicks are, how they glitter them for Easter. I don't think I'm going to do that, because I think I'm going to keep these chicks in my decor, because I have chicks and bunnies in my normal decor, because the farmhouse in my kitchen. And I have a couple ideas for my hutch. So I'm going to do the back. I like that color, don't you? What's nice about a glass mat too, you can lay it there and the paint can be taken right off. Very cute. You could also antique these to make them look a little bit more realistic. I might do that, I'm not sure. Add a little brown and just wipe it down with antiquing after I'm done. I think I might now. Because like I said, at first I was going to use these for just Easter, but I'm not. I'm going to use them for my normal everyday decor. And if you keep these just one-sided, like I said, you can put a skewer that you barbecue with and glue it to the back, and then put these in like a flower arrangement, or whatever you see fit to put them in. So I'm going to let those dry, and then I'm going to go wash my hands real quick, and then I think we'll be ready to glue the two chicks together. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I got these painted, and I do think I'm going to antique since I'm going to be keeping these up. These two are ready to be put together. Okay, I'm going to use the fast acrylic drying silicone. Okay. Yep, it will stand up by itself when it's all done. Can you see that? So it says it takes about 20 minutes to dry, so I'm going to leave this alone, make sure that it's where I want it as far as standing up. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, since I have this open and it feels like it's, because I've had this a while, so it feels like it's starting to get thicker and harder to work with, I'm going to go ahead and use it for my bunny as well. I'll give them a second coat so I'm not wasting the paint, because I have to wash my brush to paint this bunny. Okay, so far we have these two painted. This one is almost dry, and then I just glued this bunny together, and here's that broken ear. Do you see the crack here? And I just glued that. We're going to let that sit. Sand the little ridges a little bit more. This is still where I can move it, so waiting for those to dry, I am going to go ahead and glue this big one together. Well, as you can see, this is quite dilapidated, and it got a hole, so it was squirting everywhere. So what I did is I just took out as much as I could and put on both sides of the bunny, because you want it to adhere together. So what you do on one side, do on the other. And I did these two. I'm going to get rid of this since it has a hole, and I was able to get what I needed put together with this. So now I am waiting for these to dry to where when I move it, I don't have to worry about it coming apart, and then we will spackle the gaps. Okay. I went ahead and I spackled, oh, you can't see, I spackled this bunny. Remember the gaps? Remember the ear? And I spackled the little chick. But I wanted to show you with the big one because it's just easier for you to see. Okay? So, here's the gaps. You can see them. And now I'm going to go in because what I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to get it in to that crack. And where it's not completely even, where it didn't come together completely, I will smooth it out with the spackle. All of this will be smoothed out, so you're not going to see that. Because I haven't sanded these yet. Use a popsicle stick if you don't have this little spatula. Over one more time. So you fill it in with the spackle. And like I said, once it's painted, you're never going to know the difference. Rough like this, because what I'm going to do, after I get this all done, I'll take water and I'll smooth it out, and then I'll obviously sand it once it's dry. So I'm going to keep going. I just wanted to give you the gist of it. I'll keep going and then I'll smooth this down, and then I'll be back when I'm sanding. Okay, we're back. I sanded the spackle, and now what I'm going to do is I am going to paint one coat of gesso on all three. The reason being, this plaster of Paris takes and soaks up everything. So I would rather coat it with gesso and then put on my color, so I'm not having to do so many coats. And this won't take long. And it also will help with where I sanded. I'm going to go ahead and do this one too, because I don't want that to go to waste. And then I'm going to take my little heat gun and hurry the process up just a little bit. Okay, so everything's painted, and I'm going to take my heat gun and just speed the process up, because I have got to get these painted today. Unfortunately, right now is of the essence. I thought I had more time than what I have, so I just want to get these up so you get the gist of it. So if you want to make some, you can. I would just let them dry on their own, but it is a cloudy day today and a little bit cold, so it would take longer for them to dry opposed if it was really sunny weather, you know. So that's why I'm doing this. So I'm going to go ahead and continue until they're dry, and then we will paint them and then embellish. Okay, I'm mixing white, what is this one, antique white, and ivory together. I'm just going to mix this together. This would have gotten, I mean, it would have sucked it right up. And when you antique it, I don't know that you can see it, but it's supposed to represent the fur. The antiquing will bring all of that out. If I have enough, I will paint the Easter bunny, the little one, this, because I'm going to make that one a vanilla chocolate instead of a dark chocolate. Just making sure that you get everywhere, because this is such a light color, you could easily miss black bunny, not a, well, a black and white bunny, and her name was Oreo. And you could paint this black and white very easily. And I might do that next year. But this year, this is what I'm doing as far as my bunnies. To dry a little bit so I can turn it around. Okay guys, so everything now, what I did is I had enough of that paint and I had mixed it, so I couldn't put it back in a bottle because it was all mixed differently. So I went ahead and I painted everything. The little chicks, the chick that's standing, the bunny, the Easter bunny, and that's the color it will be because it's that vanilla chocolate. But this I'll paint, and this I'm going to stain, and these I will also paint. Okay, here we go. Drum roll. And I'm not putting too much on the brush. If you see here, I'm dabbing it off. I don't know if you can see that, but and lightly in little areas. Because if you do it too hard, you're going to take that paint off. Yeah, I'm going to use a little water in this. And then dab it. There you go. Now I'm getting the look I want. That's what I'm going for. Not a lot, but where it makes it look aged. Do you see? Do you see the difference between this side and this side? That's what I'm going for. I don't want a lot. Like I say, I want it just to look aged. And work in small areas. Don't try to do the whole thing. Do you see how it's starting to show more of what's supposed to be the fur when you antique it, because it gets into those crevices? Cool. I do like this. I like the way it looks. And I think I'll do my chicks that way as well, because I like that vintage old look. Very little do I put on this mat, and then I just pounce it like if you were going to do a stencil. And I haven't wet the gauze anymore. It's got plenty of water on it, because you don't want to overdo that either. Just dabbing it, moving it around. Actually, you could take what you have on the wet part and move it into the bunny. As you get to playing with it, you'll find your own groove. I hope you're seeing that. That's what it looks like, and now that's what it looks like with the antiquing. Not heavy antiquing. That's not what I was going for. But definitely wetting the gauze or whatever you're using helps. Okay, so I have the bunnies, and I decided to antique this vanilla faux bunny and got him done. And what I did is I took the yellow and some white, and I'm doing this chick that stands up because I want this to be more antique-y looking, not so much like today. I want these looking like you went to the antique store maybe and found them. The other two, I think I might do a little bit more yellow, because this one here is going to be antiqued as well. I had it forever. It's just a varnish, clear varnish acrylic, and I will seal all of them. So here is the bunny now. And I really like the way that turned out. And then here's the little Easter bunny. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get done with the check and I'll be back. Okay, so with this check, I went ahead and did the light yellow soft butter, and then, no, I take that back. I did it the ivory, and then I put some soft butter just in spots. And then, I can't pick these up right now, but these two I did completely with the soft butter. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for this to dry, and then I'm going to do their eyes and their beaks, like, not orange because I want this more muted, but more antique-y looking. Antiqued, the chicks are antiqued. I put a little bit of rust, well, it's pumpkin, on the beak, put in the eye. I wasn't going to, but I decided to do it. Then I just took the antiquing and then wiped it off just like I did the bunny. So there's that one. And then there's this one. And here's this one. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to seal it. And then all we have to do is embellish. And we're done. Hey everybody, how are you? I am back. And it's been a couple days actually because, well, you know, life goes. Anyway, we're at the end. Can you believe it? Remember, I first I painted I mixed some color. Then I took the gel stain and stained it. Well, now I'm coming back with a little bit of gesso, and I'm just dry brushing. So I'm just stippling over the colors that I did because I want this old effect, just like it's been, I don't know what, but whatever. Yeah, I am achieving what I want. I just don't know what words to use for it. And like I said, this one is not going to be used for Easter per se. This will stay out all the time. And he's going to be more of a French country. I believe that's the look because I'm going to be putting, well, he could be French country or farm. Well, I don't know. I guess I'm thinking a little bit more French black and white check because the lemon haul that well, I didn't do the haul yet, but what I bought to show you in my haul, the lemon theme has the black and white, and that will be with me through May through, well, no, actually, probably the end of April through, gosh, probably July. Because I will do a July tour, but the lemons and stuff, that will stay up as well, because it all goes together. So, anyway, that's what this one's going to be as well. But he, or she, whichever we want it to be, just will have the ribbon. So you can still see the cream and the stain, but it's just muted. And that is what I was looking for. So, I think what I'm going to do is do that, get that one, and I'm going to do the same thing to this one, but this is an Easter one. Okay, I'm going to get the hot glue gun going and pick out the flowers and what I want, and I'll be back. Okay, I think I'm going to use these that I got from the Dollar Tree. I think I got these at the Dollar Tree. No, I didn't. This is Ashland. This is Michael's. So from Michael's. And with this black and white, this is going to look really good. Okay, my summer decor, which is the lemons, and like I said, you haven't seen the haul yet, but that will be coming up shortly. It has the black and white. So I am going to follow suit with this bunny, since this one will be in my kitchen somewhere. Okay, so as we all know, I am not a bow maker. I'm really not. That's the one thing I never got down. So we're just going to fake it. Okay, so just going to well, actually, if I'm going to do that, I'm going to tie this in a knot and let this hang. Which way do I want this? Cute. Okay. Now we're going to put some of these little flowers. Oh, that's going to look cute with that lemon theme, you guys. It really is. Oh, that's cute. And these are just going to go randomly. But look at what you can do with these molds. I mean, you really could make gifts. And don't think you've seen the last of what I'm going to do with this mold. And the reason this one primarily is because the other molds that I have are much more Easter. I mean, you can tell because they're holding a basket and an egg, you know. Although, like I said, you could cover it and have it holding something else. And I'm not completely negating the thought of maybe doing that for other holidays. But I will be using this one again. I know I will. And I may put him in a basket with some lemons. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but he's definitely going to be in my kitchen. That is for sure. And I don't want roses because to me roses just, it's not going. I have these. I might put a couple of those. Nestled in there, I think. And one more. And I think that is what I'm going to do with him. What do you think? Do you think French Country? He would work in my farmhouse as well. I like him. So that is our chocolate mold and plaster of Paris bunny. Okay. So now let's get this Easter bunny done. So I think what I'm going to do with this one, I'm going to get out my pink, my very light pink, and make this egg pink, and then add a couple pink flowers down here and put a pink gingham ribbon. So I will be back in just a second. Okay, I'm back. So I got some of my pink flowers, and I'm using this Martha Stewart, and it is extremely pale pink. I love it. And the name of this one is Ballet Slipper. Okay, so let's get a pink brush. I think I'm going to use this one. Really pleased with how this turned out. And to think that was a chocolate mold and plaster of Paris. I mean, you could do any color combo you want, right? All right, so let's make sure you can see this. Oh, this is such a pretty color pink. I mean, it is so pastel. I love it. It's just because it's so pale you can't even tell it's pink against the, I'm just going to open it up and do it because I don't want much, because I do want to keep that real pastel feeling, because that's how I did my decor for my Easter. So cute. Do a little pink in the ear. Oh, cute. Oh, that's cute. Nose. I wonder if I should put a little pink in this one. Maybe not. What do you think? I don't know. I'm going to do one more coat, but I'm going to go ahead. Oh, didn't want that there. How'd you get there? Oh well, I'll do the top of this. You're not going to see it anyway, but I'm not going to do the basket sides. But you'll see what I'm doing with. That's ever so slight. I'm not going to do eyes. I'm not going to do any of that. I'm not going to do eyes with this one either. So while that's drying, glass mat, really nice to have. Then you don't have to worry about a palette or where to mix your paint, you know. And the thing is, it all cleans off so nice. And it never gets ugly because it's glass, you know. Look, completely gone. Okay. Alright, so we got that done. I'm waiting for that to dry so I can glue on a little bit of moss. I think. I like this ribbon. It's from Hobby Lobby, and they have 3 different sizes. This, that one, and then even wider. Like, I think it's 3 inches. Like I said, I knew when I was pouring these, as I was pouring them, that they were going to be up. It wasn't going to be just Easter. Look at him. Look at him. Oh my gosh. Chocolate mold. So I'll nestle him into something, and he's going to be in my kitchen for summertime. Oh my gosh. Too cute. I just put a little bow. Because if you didn't want it to stay on them, you could always, it's hot glue, it's going to come off easy. You know? I'm sure I have an idea already what I'm going to be doing with this black and white check for my kitchen for the rest of the year until we get into fall. So like I said, I'm not worried about gluing this on it, because if I didn't want to keep it on, it's going to be no problem. And like I said, I may put them on a skewer so I can just put them down like into an arrangement. And when you see my haul, you'll understand where my thinking is with this. Tell you what, you'd be paying a lot more money for these than you would if you got a chocolate mold and some plaster of Paris. And think about it, you can make this then any color you want. If you had a kitchen that was red and white gingham, red and white. If you had a kitchen that was more Tuscany, you could put grapes hanging down the bunny's neck. I mean, that's the thing about making your own stuff. You're not at the mercy of whatever someone's wanting to sell you. I am going to get more of this ribbon. But I'll only get it when it's 50% off. Oh my gosh, I love them. I love them. Alright, so now we're ready to finish this guy. Put some glue here. Take a couple of these pink little flowers. Cut that off more. Oh, that's cute. Now, like I told you before, if you didn't want this to be an Easter bunny, all you would have to do is cover up the egg, and you could do that very easy. I'll show you. I mean, just, let's just say, you could take a flower and put it right here over the egg, and you've got a bunny that you can use. Put a couple flowers, and you've got a bunny that you can use all year long. Just cover that up with a couple flowers. You have flowers here. I'm not putting any eggs because I have an egg here. But if I wanted to keep this up, all I would do is just cover this with flowers. Or a sign. Make a little sign. Or if you wanted to make a tablescape, and then these would be your nameplates. Put the name of the person. Make one out of cardstock and just put over this. But that's how I'm going to keep mine, just like that. Not going to do anything else to it except put the bow, and we are done with this DIY. Okay, so here is a little bit of pink. Oh, that is just too cute. Gotta see which. I couldn't see the egg better. I'm going to do the same thing with this as I did the chick. This one I'm going to give a little bit more poof, meaning a little bit more of a bow. And this will be fine because I'm going to put one of those little pink flowers up here too. So that'll be cute. And to be honest with you, I like the way all these are kind of woo-woo all over the place. You know what I mean? I like that. So that's the way it's going to stay. Okay, so now, I just don't know if this one's too big. Yep, I'm going to use it. So there is my Easter bunny, my white chocolate Easter bunny. So guys, I really hope you will think about, for you that are kind of on the fence about it, I hope that you will get these chocolate molds. I hope you'll try this. You can get them from Amazon or the confectionery house where I go. Just look up chocolate molds. I really, really had fun making these. So, until we get together again for another DIY, chit chat, whatever we do, remember, the world's a better place because you're in it. Don't ever, ever forget that. Talk to you soon, guys. Bye.